The massive holographic display at the United Earth Defense Council showed the alien diplomat's sneering face. His purple-tinted skin wrinkled around his three eyes as he looked down at the human representatives. "Your species barely touched your own moon 50 years ago," the diplomat said. "Yet here you are, claiming to be ready for deep space travel. How amusing." Commander James Miller kept his face neutral, though his knuckles turned white as he gripped the edge of his chair. This was the fourth such meeting this month. Each alien race seemed more condescending than the last. In the back of the room, Chief Engineer Anna Roberts exchanged knowing glances with Dr. Tom White, the lead physicist. They had been working on Project Transcendence for the past decade, hidden away in the depths of Mars Base 1. What these arrogant aliens didn't know could fill several libraries. "We understand your concerns," Miller said carefully, "but humanity is ready to join the galactic community." The aliens' laughter echoed through the chamber. "Ready? You haven't even mastered basic fold space technology. Your fastest ships would take years to reach the nearest habitable system. Come back in a few centuries, little humans." The transmission ended, leaving the room in tense silence. "Well, that went as expected," Miller said, standing up. "Dr. White, how's our real project coming along?" Tom's eyes lit up. "The 7D core is stable. We've successfully opened microportals through the first 6 dimensions. The 7th, that's where things get interesting." The three of them made their way to the secure elevator that would take them to the underground labs. As they descended, Anna pulled up holographic diagrams of their work. "Traditional space travel thinks too small," she explained, more for the benefit of recording their conversation for history than for Miller, who'd heard this 100 times. "First dimension, length. Second, width. Third, height. Fourth, time. Fifth, probability. Sixth, thought. But the 7th," she smiled. "The 7th dimension is where reality itself becomes flexible." The lab sprawled across 5 underground levels. Hundreds of scientists worked on different aspects of the project, but only the core team knew its true scope. At the center stood their prototype, a sphere of pure energy, suspended in a magnetic field. "The aliens think we're playing with toys," Tom said, checking the readings. "They've mastered travel through the first 4 dimensions. Some of the more advanced races can even slip through 5 and 6, but none of them have even theorized about the 7th. Miller watched the sphere pulse with colors that shouldn't exist. "How sure are we that this will work?" "We've run 10,000 simulations," Anna replied. "The math is solid. The engineering is solid. We can do what no other race has even dreamed of." Tom nodded. "When we activate this on a full scale, we won't just be traveling through space. We'll be stepping outside the bounds of conventional reality. Distance becomes meaningless. Time becomes a suggestion. Matter and energy become interchangeable." The commander walked around the prototype, remembering the decades of work that led to this moment. Humanity had been pushed around, mocked, and dismissed by every alien race they'd encountered. But humans had always been good at one thing: proving others wrong. "Begin final preparations," Miller ordered. "I want the Hyperion ready for its first test flight within 6 months." "The aliens will keep laughing," Anna said, already moving to her workstation. "Right until the moment they see what we can really do." As the team dispersed to their tasks, Miller stayed behind, watching the pulsing sphere. In all of human history, no project had been this ambitious. No secret had been this well kept. The aliens thought Earth was an insignificant backwater, populated by primitive beings who barely understood the basics of space travel. Let them think that, Miller thought. Let them laugh and mock and dismiss us. In 6 months, everything would change. The 7D drive wouldn't just change the balance of power in the galaxy. It would rewrite the rules of what was possible. As he left the lab, Miller smiled. Sometimes, the best part of making history was proving everyone wrong. And humanity was about to prove the entire galaxy wrong in ways they couldn't even imagine. The laughter would stop soon enough. The first test of the 7D drive shook Mars to its core. Literally. Standing in the control room of Mars Base 1, Commander Miller watched as the prototype vessel, barely larger than a shuttle, disappeared in a flash of impossible colors. The ground trembled beneath their feet, and warning alarms blared throughout the facility. "Status report," he called out, gripping his console as another tremor hit. Anna's fingers flew across her holographic controls. "The drive is stable. We're tracking the vessel through dimensions 1 through 6. Wait." Her eyes widened. "It's done it. We've breached the 7th dimension." On the main screen, their sensors showed something that should have been impossible. The test vessel wasn't just moving through space, it was moving through reality itself. Distance and time became meaningless as it slipped between the very fabric of existence. "Bring it back," Miller ordered. "Nice and easy." Tom worked his own controls, his face tense with concentration. Initiating return sequence. "Everyone brace yourselves." The test vessel reappeared exactly where it had launched. But something was different. The metal hull glowed with an inner light that seemed to leak between dimensions, and the air around it rippled like heat waves on a summer road. "Check the chronometers," Anna said, her voice filled with excitement. "How long was the flight?" "According to our instruments, 3 hours," Tom replied. "But for the rest of the universe," he laughed, "less than a second passed." The test was just the beginning. Within weeks, construction of the Hyperion began in lunar orbit. The massive vessel took shape piece by piece, its hull designed to channel energies that most races didn't even know existed. Word of the project spread through the alien diplomatic channels. More mockery followed. "A waste of resources," one alien ambassador declared. "Your primitive understanding of physics will doom this project to failure." Miller let them talk. Every insult, every dismissal, only made the final reveal sweeter. The Hyperion grew larger with each passing day. Its revolutionary design incorporated technology that humanity had kept hidden for decades. While alien races focused on brute force and conventional physics, Earth's scientists had been exploring paths that others had dismissed as impossible. 3 months into construction, they received their first real threat. "This is Admiral Cax of the Galactic Defense Fleet," the message began. "Your construction project has been deemed a potential hazard to navigation. Cease immediately or face intervention." Miller's response was brief. "No." The alien ships arrived 2 days later. 5 massive warships, each capable of destroying the small moon, took up position near the Hyperion construction site. "Last warning," Admiral Cax transmitted. "End this foolish project." Miller stood on the Hyperion's partially completed bridge, watching the alien vessels through the viewport. "Anna, is the 7D core installed?" "Installed and ready for a test," she confirmed, "though we haven't finished the outer hull yet." "Perfect timing." Miller smiled. "Let's show them what primitive looks like." The Hyperion's core hummed to life. Energy cascaded through the ship's specialized conduits, and reality began to bend. The alien vessel's sensors went crazy as the massive ship started to shift between dimensions. "They're charging weapons," Tom reported. "Let them," Miller said calmly. "Time for the first public demonstration." The Hyperion didn't just disappear. It ceased to exist in normal space. The alien ships fired, their energy weapons passing through empty space. When the Hyperion reappeared, it was behind their fleet, having moved through dimensions that their sensors couldn't even detect. "Send a message to Admiral Cax," Miller ordered. "Tell him, this is what primitive looks like." The alien fleet retreated within the hour. News spread quickly through the galaxy. Humanity's impossible project had just made first-level space travel obsolete. The age of 7D technology had begun, and Earth was leading the way. As Miller watched the alien ships flee, he thought about all the laughter, all the mockery they'd endured. Soon, the entire galaxy would understand just how far humanity had come. The Hyperion wasn't just a ship, it was humanity's key to the future. And they were just getting started. The Galactic Council's diplomatic vessel dwarfed every other ship in Earth's orbit, except for one. The Hyperion, now fully constructed, floated serenely against the backdrop of stars, its hull shimmering with energies that shouldn't exist in normal space. "Welcome aboard," Commander Miller said, greeting the alien delegation in the Hyperion's main conference room. The aliens tried to hide their unease, but their extra limbs twitched nervously as they looked around the ship. Head Counselor Max, a tall being with crystalline skin, spoke first. "We have come to evaluate your progress. Recent reports about your technology have caused concern among council members." "Concern?" Anna asked from her position beside Miller. "Or fear?" The crystalline alien surface rippled with colors. "The council does not fear primitive achievements. We are here to offer guidance, to ensure you don't destroy yourselves with technology you clearly don't understand." Tom entered the room carrying a data tablet. "Interesting. Would you like to explain which part we don't understand? The seventh dimensional physics, or the way we've managed to do what your people thought impossible?" The second alien delegate, a cloud-like being named Rix, pulsed with irritation. "You speak of dimensions beyond the sixth as if they were simple pathways. Even our most advanced races haven't breached that barrier." "Perhaps," Miller said, "that's because they were too busy laughing at other species to look in new directions." He nodded to Anna. "Show them." The ship's engines hummed to life. Through the conference room's transparent walls, they watched as reality itself began to bend around the Hyperion. "Impossible." Max's crystalline form vibrated with shock. "You can't activate dimensional drives this close to a planetary body." "Old rules," Tom replied. "They only apply to old technology." The Hyperion slipped sideways through reality. To the alien delegates, it must have looked like the universe itself was folding around them. When the ship reappeared, they were orbiting Jupiter's moon Europa. "That?" Rix's cloudy form condensed in agitation. "That should have taken hours." "Would you like to see what else we can do?" Miller asked. "Or would you prefer to keep telling us what's impossible?" Max's crystalline surface had turned a pale, sickly color. "The council must be informed. This technology, it violates natural law." "No," Anna corrected. "It just violates what you thought were the laws. There's a difference." The demonstration continued. The Hyperion moved through space and dimensions with impossible ease, covering distances in seconds that should have taken years. Each display of power made the alien delegates more agitated. Finally, Max had seen enough. "This must stop. You cannot be allowed to possess such dangerous technology. The council will take steps." "Careful," Miller interrupted. "Think very carefully about your next words. Humanity spent decades being dismissed and mocked by the galactic community. We learned and grew in silence while you laughed. Now that we've surpassed you, threats would be unwise." The temperature in the room seemed to drop. The alien delegates huddled together, their earlier arrogance replaced by something close to fear. "The council will hear of this." Rix pulsed angrily. "Good," Tom said. "Tell them everything. Tell them how the primitive humans mastered technology that they couldn't even imagine. Tell them how we did it while they were busy mocking us." Miller raised his hand for silence. "You came here to offer guidance. Instead, let me offer you some. The galaxy is changing. The old power structure, based on who had the biggest chips or the fastest conventional drives, is over. Humanity is ready to take its place among the stars. You can either accept that and work with us, or—" He left the threat unspoken. He didn't need to say it. The aliens had seen enough to understand. As the delegation hurried back to their ship, Anna turned to Miller. "They'll be back. And next time, they won't come as diplomats." "Let them come," Miller replied, watching the alien vessel depart. The galaxy needed a wake-up call. Time to show them that humanity isn't just ready for the stars. We're ready to reshape reality itself. The Hyperion's hull pulsed with seven-dimensional energy, a beacon of humanity's achievement and a warning to those who would stand in their way. The time for laughter was over. The time for change had begun. They came without warning. Over 300 alien warships tore through normal space, their weapons already charged and targeting Earth's defenses. The Galactic Council had made their decision. Humanity's advancement needed to be stopped. Multiple hostile contacts. The Earth Defense Network's alarms blared across every military installation. Energy signatures matched Galactic Council warships. In the Hyperion's command center, Miller watched the tactical display with cold anger. The alien fleet had positioned itself in a sphere around Earth, their formation designed to prevent any conventional escape. Conventional being the key word. "Status report," he called out, moving to his command chair. "Earth's defense fleet is engaging," Tom reported from his station. "But their weapons are barely scratching the Council ship's shields. We're looking at total defeat in under an hour if we fight conventionally." Anna's hands flew across her control panel. "The 7D core is ready. All systems operational." "But sir," she hesitated, "we've never tested the weapons systems at full power. The simulations show possible reality fractures." Miller nodded grimly. "Better a few fractures than Earth's destruction." The alien fleet's first volley hit Earth's orbital defenses. Stations exploded, defense platforms crumbled, and the planet's protective shield network flickered under the assault. "This is Admiral Cax of the Galactic Defense Fleet. A transmission cut through all channels. Surrender your dimensional technology, and we will spare your world. You have 10 minutes to comply." Miller opened a channel to all Earth forces. "All ships, fall back. Clear a path between the Hyperion and the enemy fleet. It's time to show them what humanity can really do." The Earth ships retreated, leaving the Hyperion alone facing the massive alien armada. To anyone watching, it must have looked like suicide. One ship against hundreds. "Sir," Anna called out, "the 7D core is showing unusual readings. The power levels are beyond anything we've seen in testing." "Good," Miller replied. "Let's put it to use. Tom, target their flagship." The Hyperion's hull began to glow with impossible colors as energy coursed through its dimensional conduits. Reality itself seemed to bend around the ship, light twisting in ways that hurt the eyes to watch. "They're firing," Tom shouted. Hundreds of energy beams converged on the Hyperion's position, but the ship wasn't there anymore. At least, not in any dimension the alien sensors could detect. 7-dimensional jump complete, Anna reported. "We're everywhere and nowhere." Miller allowed himself a small smile. "Fire main weapon." The Hyperion's primary weapon didn't fire a beam or launch a missile. Instead, it released a pulse of 7-dimensional energy that rippled through every layer of reality simultaneously. The alien flagship, caught in the pulse, simply ceased to exist, not destroyed, but erased from reality itself. "By all known laws of physics, that's impossible," Tom whispered, staring at his readings. "Sending readings to Earth Command," Anna said. They're asking if we can do it again." Miller's answer was to target another ship, and another. Each pulse of the 7D weapon removed ships from existence, leaving not even debris behind. The alien fleet's formation broke as ships tried to retreat, but running through normal space was useless against a vessel that could move through 7 dimensions. "Incoming transmission from Admiral Cax's secondary command ship," Tom reported. "Put him through." The alien admiral's face appeared on screen, his expression a mixture of fear and awe. "What have you done? This violates every law of reality." "No," Miller replied calmly. "It just violates the laws you understood. Humanity found new laws. Better ones. Would you like another demonstration?" The alien fleet's retreat was so rapid that several ships collided with each other in their haste to escape. Within minutes, Earth's orbit was clear of hostile vessels. As the adrenaline faded, Miller looked at his crew. "Damage report." "Minor reality fluctuations in sectors 7 through 12, Anna replied. "Nothing we can't handle. But sir, We just changed everything. The galaxy will never be the same after this. Miller nodded, watching Earth's defensive fleet return to their positions. They thought they could bully us into submission. They thought their understanding of physics was supreme. They thought wrong. The Hyperion hung in orbit, its hull still shimming with seven-dimensional energy, a testament to human ingenuity and a warning to those who would threaten Earth. The galaxy had just learned a vital lesson: never underestimate humanity's potential. The real war was just beginning. The Galactic Council's response came 3 days later. This time, they sent 1,000 ships. They still don't understand, Anna said, watching the massive fleet emerge from hyperspace. They're just throwing more conventional forces at an unconventional problem. The Hyperion's bridge crew had been ready for this. After their first victory, they'd spent days studying the data from their 7D weapons performance. What they'd learned had changed their understanding of reality itself. Multiple targeting signals, Tom reported. They're trying something new, dimensional disruptors. Looks like they're attempting to lock us into normal space. Miller watched the enemy fleet's formation with practiced eyes. They've been busy. Those are new weapons. Must have rushed them into production after our last encounter. The alien fleet's first attack was different this time. Instead of energy beams, they fired waves of dimensional energy designed to stabilize space-time. Any normal ship would have been trapped, forced to fight in conventional space. But the Hyperion was far from normal. 7-dimensional drive engaging, Anna announced. But sir, I'm seeing something interesting. The core is evolving. The ship's hull began to pulse with new patterns of energy. Where before it had glowed with impossible colors, now it seemed to exist in multiple states simultaneously. Parts of the vessel were visible in normal space, while others phased through different dimensions. The core is learning, Tom said in awe. It's not just moving through dimensions anymore. It's existing in all of them at once. Miller felt a slight vibration through his command chair as the Hyperion's systems adapted. Show them what we can do. Full dimensional spread. The Hyperion didn't just move through space. It expanded through dimensions. To the alien fleet's sensors, it must have looked like the ship was everywhere at once, existing in every possible location simultaneously. Enemy fleet is firing, Tom called out. The alien weapons passed harmlessly through the Hyperion's multidimensional state. You couldn't hit something that existed in 7 dimensions with weapons that only operated in 4. Return fire, Miller ordered. But this time, let's be precise. No need to erase them from reality. The Hyperion's weapons had evolved too. Instead of complete dimensional erasure, they now fired beams that phased through 7 dimensions. When they hit the alien ships, they didn't destroy them. They simply shut them down, leaving the vessels drifting in space. Their technology can't handle the dimensional overlap, Anna explained. We're not destroying them, just showing them how limited their understanding is. Ship after ship went dark as the Hyperion moved through the fleet. Their weapons were useless, their shields meaningless against technology that operated on fundamentally different laws of physics. Incoming transmission, Tom reported. It's from the Galactic Council itself. The main screen lit up with the image of the Council's supreme leader, a being of pure energy contained in a crystalline matrix. Stop this at once. You're breaking laws of physics that have stood for millions of years. No, Miller replied calmly. We're showing you that your laws were incomplete. Humanity didn't break physics. We expanded it. There's a difference. As if to demonstrate his point, the Hyperion shifted through another dimensional phase, briefly existing as pure energy before reforming. The display of power was impossible to ignore. The Council, the Supreme Leader, hesitated. The Council requests a ceasefire to discuss terms. Miller looked at his crew, saw the pride in their eyes. Humanity hadn't just defended itself, it had revolutionized warfare itself. The old rules no longer applied. Tell your fleet to stand down, Miller said. And then we can talk about humanity's place in the galaxy, a place we've earned through innovation, not conquest. As the alien ships powered down their weapons, Anna turned to Miller. Sir, the 7D Core's evolution, it's still ongoing. We're just beginning to understand what it can do. Miller nodded, watching the once mighty alien fleet drift helplessly in space. Good, because I have a feeling the galaxy is about to change in ways none of us could have imagined. The Hyperion hung in space, existing in 7 dimensions at once, a testament to human ingenuity and determination. The age of conventional warfare was over. The era of dimensional power had begun, and humanity was leading the way. The Galactic Council's main chamber had never been so quiet. Representatives from 1,000 species watched as Commander Miller walked to the center podium, his footsteps echoing in the vast space. For centuries, he began, the Council has maintained power through technological superiority. Today, that changes. Behind him, displayed on massive screens, the Hyperion floated in space, its hull shifting through multiple dimensions. The ship no longer looked entirely solid. Parts of it existed in dimensions that most species couldn't even perceive. Your attack on Earth failed, Miller continued. Not because we were stronger or had more ships, but because we dared to think differently. While you mocked us as primitives, we explored aspects of reality you never imagined. The Supreme Leader's energy form flickered nervously. The Council acknowledges humanity's achievement, but such power must be controlled, regulated. No, Miller cut in. Humanity won't surrender its technology, but we will share it. The chamber erupted in chaos. Species that had been enemies for millennia suddenly found themselves united in shock. Share. A reptilian delegate hissed. Such technology would destabilize the entire galaxy. Tom stepped forward, holding up a small device. Actually, it will stabilize it. This is a portable 7-dimensional scanner. It can detect problems in reality itself, tears, weaknesses, dimensional instabilities. Problems your conventional technology has been causing for centuries without you even knowing it. Anna activated a holographic display, showing the galaxy in 7-dimensional detail. Countless red spots appeared, marking damaged areas of space-time. Your 4-dimensional drives have been scaring reality, she explained. Your weapons have been creating tears you couldn't detect. Humanity's technology doesn't just travel through dimensions, it heals them. The chamber fell silent again as the implications sank in. The Hyperion hadn't just revolutionized travel and warfare, it had opened up an entirely new understanding of reality itself. We offer an alliance, Miller said, not based on fear or power, but on progress. Earth will establish training centers. We'll teach your scientists, help your species advance. Together, we can explore dimensions that none of us fully understand. The Supreme Leader's crystalline matrix hummed thoughtfully. And if we refuse, then you'll watch as humanity advances alone, Miller replied. While your ships take years to cross the galaxy, ours will cross it in seconds. While your sensors see only 4 dimensions, ours will see 7. You'll become obsolete. The choice is yours. The first to step forward was, surprisingly, Admiral Cax. The same admiral who had led both attacks on Earth now stood before the Council. My fleet was defeated twice by a single Earth vessel, he said, not through brute force, but through understanding. I've seen their technology in action. It doesn't just surpass ours. It operates on principles we never imagined. I vote to accept their offer. One by one, other delegates stood. Species that had looked down on humanity now found themselves looking up, seeking guidance. The Council accepts, the Supreme Leader finally announced. Earth will be granted a permanent seat on the Council. Arrangements for technology sharing will begin immediately. As the chamber erupted in excited discussion, Anna turned to Miller. They're afraid of us now. No, Miller corrected. They respect us. Fear leads to conflict. Respect leads to cooperation. That's why we're sharing the technology instead of hoarding it. Tom nodded toward the Hyperion's display. The ship's still evolving. The 7D core is showing signs of accessing an eighth dimension. Good, Miller said, because we got a lot to teach and even more to learn. The galaxy's about to enter a new age, and humanity will help guide the way. As the council session ended, delegates rushed to arrange meetings with Earth's representatives. Species that had once mocked humanity now sought their wisdom. The balance of power hadn't just shifted, it had been completely reimagined. The age of dimensional science had begun, and with it, a new era of galactic cooperation. Humanity had proven itself not through conquest or dominance, but through innovation and understanding. And somewhere in the vast chamber, the sound of laughter could be heard again. Not mockery this time, but the shared joy of discovery and progress. The galaxy would never be the same. 5 years after humanity's breakthrough, the galaxy had transformed beyond recognition. Ships of all species now moved through multiple dimensions, their crews trained in Earth's academies. Where once there had been barriers and borders, now there were bridges through reality itself. Commander Miller stood on the observation deck of Earth's new Dimensional Science Academy, watching students from 100 different species study the principles that had changed everything. The eighth dimension is stable, Anna reported, walking up beside him. Her uniform now bore the insignia of Earth's Dimensional Research Division. The Hyperion's latest test confirmed it. Reality doesn't just bend anymore, it flows. Below them, in the massive training hall, alien students worked alongside human instructors. Holographic displays showed ships moving through dimensions that most beings couldn't have imagined just a few years ago. Remember when they used to laugh at us? Tom asked, joining them at the window. He held up a data pad showing the latest breakthrough. Now they're helping us push the boundaries even further. Some of our alien students have perspectives we never considered. Miller nodded, watching a young alien scientist successfully open a controlled dimensional portal. That's why sharing the technology was the right choice. We're all learning together now. The Academy wasn't the only sign of change. Earth had become the center of a new kind of space exploration. The old maps showing three-dimensional space had been replaced by complex models showing all 8 known dimensions. Travel times between galaxies had been reduced from millennia to minutes. Latest report from the Galactic Council, Anna said, checking her communicator. They've approved our proposal for the Dimensional Restoration Project. We can start healing the old tiers in spacetime next month. The Hyperion, now joined by ships of similar design from various species, had become more than just a symbol of power. It was a testament to what cooperation could achieve. Its evolving technology had sparked a renaissance in scientific understanding. The funny thing is, Tom mused, we never wanted to rule the galaxy. We just wanted to explore it. Now everyone's exploring with us. A group of alien delegates passed by, discussing theories that would have seemed impossible a few years ago. Their conversation mixed multiple languages, but one word kept coming up: Earth. We're not just teaching them technology, Miller said. We're teaching them to think differently, to question what they think they know. That's humanity's real gift to the galaxy. The Academy's alert system chimed softly. A new ship was arriving, the first vessel built jointly by human and alien engineers. As they watched, it emerged from dimensional space, its design unlike anything seen before. Beautiful, Anna whispered. It's not just human technology anymore. It's not just alien. It's something new. The ship's arrival marked another milestone. The galaxy had moved beyond the old divisions of human and alien technology. Innovation now came from everywhere, each species contributing its unique perspective to their shared understanding of reality. Latest reports from deep space exploration, Tom said, checking his data. We've detected signals from what might be a 9th dimension. The Hyperion's core started picking them up last week. Miller smiled. Just when they thought they understood the universe, it showed them something new. That was the real lesson humanity had taught the galaxy. There was always more to learn. The observation deck filled with students heading to their next classes. Humans and aliens walked together, discussing theories that would have seemed like fantasy just a few years ago. The laughter that echoed through the halls wasn't mockery anymore. It was the sound of shared discovery. "You know what the best part is?" Anna asked, watching the students. "We did this without a single war. Without conquering anyone. We did it by showing them a better way." Miller nodded. The galaxy had changed not through force, but through understanding. Humanity had taken its place among the stars not as conquerors, but as teachers and explorers. As the new ship docked at the Academy, Miller thought about how far they'd come. From being mocked as primitives to leading a revolution in understanding reality itself. But it wasn't just humanity's victory. It belonged to every species that had learned to see beyond their own limitations. The future stretched out before them, infinite in its possibilities, spanning dimensions yet undiscovered. And humanity would explore it all, not alone, but together with the very beings who had once laughed at them. The age of division was over. The age of unity had begun.